Hello everyone, in this lecture we will discuss about super elevation. So from highway engineering you have already studied about super elevation, that in case of horizontal curve super elevation is provided. Likewise here also in case of curved railway track super elevation is provided. So suppose this is a curved railway track and let a train is moving in this direction. Okay, so when this train will move in this curved railway track, then a force will exert in the outward direction which tries to pull the train in the outward direction. Okay, and this force is known as the centrifugal force. Okay, so due to this centrifugal force, there may be chances of overturning of the rail in the outer direction, and it exerts large pressure, higher pressure on the outer rail. Okay, so this is the outer rail and this is the inner rail. Okay, so due to centrifugal force there may be chances of overturning of train and it will exert higher pressure on this outer rail. Okay, so to counterbalance this centrifugal force, super elevation is provided in the curved railway track. Okay, so what do you mean by super elevation? That means the outer rail is raised some distance with respect to inner rail, and that raised distance is known as the super elevation. Okay, let I am drawing the cross section of the railway track. Okay, okay, so let this is the outer rail. Okay, and this is the inner rail, and this outer rail is raised some distance with respect to this inner rail. Okay, so this raised distance is known as the super elevation, and in case of railway engineering, super elevation is also called as cant. Okay, we can say cant in place of super elevation. Okay, so this raised distance, okay, this raised distance is known as the super elevation. So by providing the super elevation, a force will exert in the inward direction, and that force is known as the centrifugal force, and which is able to counteract the centrifugal force. Okay, so super elevation is necessary to provide in the curved railway track as well as in case of highway. Okay, then next come to necessity of providing super elevation on curves. So the first point is to counteract centrifugal force. Okay, that means if we will provide super elevation in the curved track, then a force will exert in the inward direction, and that force is generally the horizontal component of the weight. Okay, and that force is known as the centrifugal force. So it counterbalance and it counteract the centrifugal force and reduces the overturning chances of the train. Okay, then the next point is for faster movement of trains on curves. Then third one is reduce wear and creep of rails. The next point is equal distribution of wheel loads on two rails. Okay, so generally when the train moves in the curved track, so due to the centrifugal force, it tries to pull the train in the outer direction, so it exerts higher pressure on the outer rail only. Okay, but by providing the super elevation, there will be equal pressure on both the rails. Okay, Then the next point is to provide an even and smooth running track to ensure comfortable ride to passengers and safe movement of goods. Then next come to limit of super elevation. Okay, so there is a limit of providing super elevation. So the maximum value of super elevation is 1 by 10th of gauge. Okay, so maximum value of super elevation is generally 1 by 10th of gauge distance. Okay, gauge distance, you know that the inner to inner distance between two rails. Okay, so here you can see for broad gauge. So for broad gauge, you know that the gauge distance is 1.676 meter. Okay, and generally the maximum super elevation value is 1 by 10 of gauge distance. Okay, so here also for broad gauge 1 by 10 into gauge distance is what, 1.676 meter for broad gauge. Okay, so that is coming 0.1676 meter. Okay, then write it in centimeter, that is 16.7 centimeter. Okay, and you can take this as 16.5 centimeter. Okay, so for broad gauge maximum super elevation value is 16.5 centimeter, and for meter gauge also calculate 1 by 10 into, for meter gauge the gauge distance is 1 meter. Okay, and this is coming 0.1 meter. Okay, then convert it into centimeter, so it is coming 10 centimeter. Okay, so for meter gauge the maximum super elevation value is 10 centimeter. Then next come to narrow gauge. Okay, so for narrow gauge also the value will be 1 by 10 into the gauge distance, that is 0.76 meter, and this is coming 0.076 meter. Convert it into centimeter, then it is coming 7.6 centimeter. Okay, so for narrow gauge the maximum super elevation value is 7.6 centimeter. Okay, then next come to equilibrium cant. Okay, that means equilibrium super elevation. So generally in case of railway track, some trains are moving in the in a higher speed and some trains are moving in lower speed. Okay, so super elevation generally depends upon the speed of train. Okay, so in case of railway track we generally provide the super elevation according to the average speed of the train. Okay, so by calculating the average speed of train, and on the basis of that speed the super elevation is generally provided. So when the super elevation is provided on the basis of average speed or equilibrium speed, then that is known as the equilibrium super elevation or equilibrium cant. Okay, so generally this super elevation is provided on basis of average speed or equilibrium speed. Okay, so generally super elevation is calculated by the formula, that is gv square by gr. Okay, so here g is the gauge distance. Okay, so for broad gauge 1.67 meter, and for meter gauge 1 meter, and for narrow gauge 0.76 meter. Okay, and here v is the velocity or speed of train, g is the acceleration due to gravity, then r is radius of curve. Okay, so if we will write this v in kilometer per hour, and if we put the value of g as 9.81, then this formula will become E is equal to gv square by 127 r. Okay, so equilibrium super elevation means the super elevation which is designed according to the average speed or equilibrium speed of the train. Okay, so here the V will be the equilibrium speed or average speed. Okay, so on the basis of that, the super elevation is provided in case of railway track. Okay, so this is the formula. And the calculation of the average speed or equilibrium speed is not in your syllabus, so I am not going through that. Then next come to cant deficiency. Okay, so understand cant deficiency is what. So I have told that the super elevation is generally provided on the basis of average speed. Okay, so the provided, so this E equilibrium, okay, or equilibrium cant is the g v square by 127 r, and this is our provided super elevation. Okay, this is our provided super elevation. Okay, let our average speed of the train is, let 60 kmph. Okay, 60 km per hour, and this cant this equilibrium cant is calculated on the basis of this speed. Okay, so here this V equilibrium is the 60 km per hour, and on the basis of that, whatever the value will come, we will provide in case of the in the railway track. Okay, and that will be our provided super elevation. Okay, so let here the equilibrium speed is the 60 km per hour, but a train is coming in that track of speed 80 km per hour. Okay, so let this is the actual speed of the train. Okay, so let a train is coming in that track of speed 80 km per hour, which is greater than 60 km per hour. That means average speed. Okay, this actual speed is greater than that of the average speed. Okay, so just calculate the actual cant required. Okay, so the super elevation required for that train will be g into 80 square, means here 80 is the v, means the speed of the train, g into 80 square divided by 127 r. Okay, so this is our required super elevation. Okay, means the super elevation which is required for the train which is moving in 80 km per hour, but our provided super elevation is what? Our provided super elevation is g into 60 square divided by 127 r. So r is constant, g is constant, so obviously the E required, that is required super elevation, is greater than E provided. Okay, so we have provided the super elevation according to 60 kmph, and here the 60 kmph is our average speed, but the required super elevation is more than that of the provided super elevation. Means the train which is moving more than the speed that of the average speed, then that train will face cant deficiency. Here the required super elevation is greater than that of the provided super elevation. Okay, so that means this difference, that is E required minus E provided, this difference is known as the cant deficiency. Okay, so when the required super elevation is greater than that of the provided super elevation, then we will face the cant deficiency. Okay, so generally cant deficiency is the difference between the cant required and cant provided, and cant provided, that value is on the basis of the average speed, and cant required is on the basis of the actual speed of the train. Okay, so another thing is there is also a limit of track deficiency. Okay, so up to fat limit we will bear the cant deficiency. Okay, so for broad gauge the maximum cant deficiency should be 7.6 centimeter. Then for meter gauge that value must be maximum up to 5.1 centimeter, and for narrow gauge 3.8 centimeter. Okay, so this amount of these values, these maximum values we can bear in case of railway track. Okay, this cant deficiency value. So cant excess also is what? So let our average speed is 60 kmph, and let a train is coming in a speed of, means the actual speed of the train is 40 kilometer, and here you can see the actual speed of the train is less than that of the average speed. That means the equilibrium required, that means the super elevation required is less than that of the super elevation provided. Okay, so here we have provided excess value of super elevation according to this required super elevation. Okay, so then the train the train moving with a speed less than that of the average speed will face the cant excess. Okay, that means will face the excess super elevation. So here the difference between E provided and E required is known as cant excess. Okay, the next come to negative super elevation. Okay, so we will face negative super elevation when a branch line diverges from a main line. Okay, so this is a main line. Okay, this is a main line, and here in this main line, this is the outer track and this is the inner track. Okay, so let from this main line so this is the main line, and this is the this is the outer rail and this is the inner rail, and from this main line let a branch line diverges from this main line. Okay, so in this is the branch line. Okay, and in the branch line this is the outer track and this is the inner track, obviously. Okay, so let's take the points. Let this is the A point, this is the this is the A point, this is B point, and this is C point, this is D point, this is E, this point is F. Okay, so here you can see when a train, so here you can see in the main line. Okay, in the main line this AC is the outer rail and this BD here this BD is the inner rail. Okay, so that means in this curved track the outer rail means AC will be in a higher position than that of the inner rail. Okay, because here we will provide the super elevation by raising the AC rail, means the outer rail, according to the with respect to the inner rail. So here in main line AC is greater than that of the BD. that means here AC is the outer rail and BD is the inner rail, and here the AC is in the higher position in comparison to BD rail. Okay, in other words, A point is in the higher position than that of the B. Okay, for the main line. Okay, so here for main line, A point should be in the higher position than that of the B. Then in case of branch line, okay, so here in case of branch line, this BF, okay, this BF is the outer rail and this AE is the inner rail. So BF should be in the BF should be in higher position than that of the AE. Okay, in other words, the point B should be in a higher position than that of the A. Okay, so as here in case of branch line, this is the branch line. Okay, as here in case of branch line, the outer rail is the BF, so we will provide the super elevation by raising this BF rail with respect to the inner rail, that is AE. That means BF should be in higher position than that of the AE rail. In other words, the point B should be in the higher position in comparison to the point A. Okay, so here you can see for branch line, B should be in higher position than that of the A, but for the main line, A should be in the higher position than that of the B. So these two cases are contradictory cases. Okay, and we cannot satisfy these two cases. Okay, we cannot satisfy these two cases. So generally what happens, this B point, so in case of when there is a main line and when a branch line diverges from the main line, so in that case generally this B point is kept lower than that of the A. That means generally in this type of cases A is kept in the higher position, means the this outer rail is raised with respect to this inner rail. That means A is kept in the higher position than that of the B. Okay, but in the branch line, B should be in the higher position than that of the A, but which is practically doesn't happen. Okay, so in case of branch line, rather than B, A is in the higher position than that of the B. Okay, means here in the branch line, B should be in the higher position than A, but generally what happens in case of branch line, A is in the higher position than that of the B. That means it is the negative super elevation. Okay, we should raise the for the branch line, we should raise the B in the higher position than that of the A, but generally in case of branch line, A is in the higher position than that of the B, means this is known as the negative super elevation. So there is no problem in case of the main line, as here the outer rail is raised according to the inner rail, but here in the branch line the inner rail is in the higher position than that of the outer rail. Okay, so the train which will move in the branch line will face the negative super elevation. Okay, so this is known as the negative super elevation. So for that generally the speed is restricted on both the track. Okay, so due to this negative super elevation, the speed of both track is restricted. Okay, hope this is clear to all. Okay, so this much all about today's class. In the next lecture we will discuss about points and crossing. Okay, thank you.